What's up YouTube? Capital G here. Got a fantastic couple of duels for you guys to check out, including one of the most bizarre things I think I have ever seen in my life. This Nibiru'd is just it's going to be so spicy. So we got crawlers down here at the bottom and we have the weather painters at the top. I would probably favor, I would probably favor crawlers in this matchup. I guess it kind of depends because at least weather painters have skill drain, which can kind of hurt crawlers, but generally speaking, these type of removal cards are not good against, they're not strong against the crawler deck, because if the crawler monsters are face up and you use mass removal against them, they're just going to float. So it's almost like you're helping the crawler player. Anyways, let's see exactly how this is going to go. I think crawlers are up first. Fair enough, he is going to special summon the Crawler Spine with the effect of his World Legacy, or the Crawler Feldspar, I guess I should just say. And I think he's going to go for Thunder Canvas, try to activate the effect. This is going to prompt him to use the World Legacy's Mine. This is the one that makes it so your opponent's monster effect becomes bouncing one of your Crawler monsters. Thus, the Crawler monster will actually float. So it's going to get bounced to the hand. Crawler Spine is then going to float into two face-down Crawler monsters. Fair enough. Your opponent doesn't get the effect. During the end phase, activate Pawn, and then he can use Axon to pop the back row. Simple enough as well. Now, this is the spice here. He's playing all-out attacks, and this might be the spiciest tech I've ever seen for crawlers. I was not aware of this. I guess he's putting me up on this tech. He is going to use Torrential Tribute, which, again, is kind of terrible in this matchup. He's going to respond with Pawns to flip this guy face up, so all of his cards essentially will float, and he should be able to at least get 4 monsters, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 5 monsters. So 1 float right there, and then he's going to summon 2 more monsters. Okay, so yeah, he has 2 monsters that floated, and just like that, he's on 5 monsters face down. You do not want to be in this position playing against crawlers when they have 5 monsters. He gets another Nibiru, and he's like, well, fuck it, Cap. I guess I just pass. I don't have any plays here. And the Nibiru's are going to be live in just a second. The reason they're going to be live is because obviously crawlers are a link-based deck, and even though he has an open field, you can't really do enough damage against an open field, so you kind of do need the link summon. Now, the thing about all-out attacks that I did not know is when you flip summon, or when you special summon a monster face down, apparently flipping it face up makes it activate the flip effect. I had no idea, because you don't generally see people special summon monsters face down in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, that doesn't happen, but crawlers are one of the decks that can do it. So you see these guys be flip face down, then flip face up, and it is going to happen. For instance, this right here, he special sets it, which I guess you can say it's a special summon face down. That's just really weird. And then all out attacks is going to flip it face up, and its flip effect will activate, which is kind of nice. That is the Foolish Burial one, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he's going to link summon, then he's going to special summon, and his opponent is going to Nibiru him because he had 6 monsters on the field. He says, Cap, he's going to kill me. I gotta drop the Nibiru. Here's why that doesn't help, guys. Nibiru is actually going to trigger every single crawler monster. He's going to get an 8400 attack token, and every single one of these crawler monsters is like, bitch, did you just tribute us? And all of them, look how many cards are activating. He's going to fill his field right back up. Now, the problem is, usually these monsters would not be a threat because at the very least they would be face down, but this is when all out attack orders becomes that cheese, and he can just flip all the monsters face up again, and this means he can actually attack with them. Crawler Spine also going to activate its effect. This is so troll, man. Like, why do flip effects, when you special set a card and you flip it face up, the flip effects still actually activate? Who knew that? But obviously he couldn't stop them. Maybe if Nibiru was not a hard once per turn, he would have been able to tribute these guys all again, because that definitely would have been like 5 more additional summons. I guess even if the summon limit like reset, but I guess it would still only need 5 summons anyways. But it doesn't matter because Nibiru's it's a hard once per turn. Anyway, second duel is going to be against Black Wings, and this duel is going to be it's going to be a little more difficult than the first. Not quite as weird. He opens up with Simone, and that gets him the Black Whirlwind. Pretty strong opening. I think you like always have to go for full Armor Master if you're playing Black Wings. The problem with full Armor Master is it is like a Towers, and it's a strong card, but man, that thing is a magnet to Boil Sword Dragon. Also, you know, Crusadia. Crusadia Mech Knight Astrum is kind of like a second out to this card because it's unaffected by all card effects. It's just, you can take it down in battle, and things like Royal Sword Dragon and, Astrum can actually just like kill it in battle. So he goes for Topologic Bomber Dragon, and while this would be a strong play against other decks, it's just not very strong against this matchup because we know from the last duel, like these crawler monsters want to be destroyed by card effects because that's basically their bread and butter. Then they can start floating and they can start doing stuff. So he's just going to set. He goes into battle phase, fair enough. He is going to summon him from the hand. He's going to summon to the link point the Topologic Bomber Dragon. This forces the crawler monsters to be destroyed by card effects, and that means that they all get to activate their effects. So now you have the crawler player already with 4 monsters on board, and I don't know, he kind of just has the Topologic Bomber Dragon in the towers. Now the interesting thing is, he's going to flip up his Deus Ex Crawler, and now this at least stops the Topologic Bomber Dragon from blowing up the field. Problem is, he is just going to use the wedge counter, and he's going to say, give me that damn monster, bro. Full Armor Master is going to take it. It's unaffected by this guy, so he doesn't care about his effect, or his effect stopping the effect. I believe what he's going to do here is he's going to summon 2 Topologic Bomber Dragons link point to make it blow the field up. Obviously, the crawler monsters will all float, which is kind of the theme of these duels, and he's gonna go he's gonna go for that all-out attacks cheese once again. All these monsters will be special summoned face down, but it don't matter. They're gonna be flip face up immediately, and their effects can activate if he so chooses. So I just think this is such a just a dank combo, man. Like special summoning flip monsters face down and then having them flip face up immediately and activate their effects. He's going for his out, which would be the Mech Knight Crusadia Astrum, and unfortunately he does have to attack with those monsters, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he has to attack with them. So there are certain situations where I guess all-out attacks can kind of bite you in the butt. You're seeing it here, but it doesn't matter. He already has his win condition on board, which is this guy, the Mech Knight Crusadia Astrum. It's a difficult card for Black Wings to essentially get rid of, which is why you see him putting monsters in defense mode. He's got Scapegoat, so he can fill his field right back up again, and those goat tokens gotta go in attack mode, but they won't be in attack mode very long as he's going to link summon them away. Plays Worm Bait, more tokens for the win, I guess. And he's going to once again link summon. Goes for Borlo Dragon, sets a monster. His Deus Ex Crawler should be flip face up. It is, and I think it's about time that he ends this duel. Borlo Dragon takes his opponent's monster, couple more attacks, and that is a wrap. Such a crazy little deck. You know what? Let's check this deck out for one quick sec. All right, so this is what the deck looks like on paper, and man, it has been a long time since I've seen Needle Sealing in a deck. This is a card that it has seen a little bit of play over the years, but not in some time. I guess it is strong if you were playing a flip-based deck because, as you guys saw in the duels, even when he had multiple monsters on field, a lot of times those monsters were face down unless, he had the all-out attacks. And, it just requires 4 monsters on the field, but when you're summoning 2 monsters at a time, it can definitely work. And you can even trigger it if you have, like, tokens on field. You can see, obviously, he plays Worm Bait, he plays Scapegoat, so him having a couple of tokens definitely can aid to the use of, Needle Sealing, kind of being that blowout. I think Card Demise can actually work in crawlers because you're not really doing that much special summoning in your first turn. Yeah, you might special summon from the field spell, but if you don't have the field spell, there really isn't any special summoning that crawlers do in the first turn outside of, I guess, like Worm Bait, maybe into a link summon. The point is they don't really special summon all that much, so definitely makes sense. He's maxing out on the World Legacy's Mine, also the World Legacy's Pawn. This is the one that lets you, flip your monsters face up and face down during your opponent's turn, and this is the one that changes their effects into bounce your monsters, thus you can actually just trigger your cards. And I like these cards. I am a big fan of these reusable kind of effect negation cards, even though something like Solemn Strike might be a little more guaranteed to, potentially stop like an effect. These cards can be used multiple times, which is why I'm a fan of Breakthrough Skill and also, cards like Lost Wind. But yeah, definitely an interesting take on crawlers. And you know what? Maybe Konami will support crawlers a little more in the future and we'll see them break through.